The House will come to order. Good morning, everyone. I am pleased to welcome you to our History Debate 2021 with the theme that the greatest debate of Rizal Retraction. On behalf of the House, I will welcome to our adjudicator for this morning, Judge Michelle Ambalo. You may now be seated. So now, sitting on my right side, the government, while on my left side, the opposition. Motion. This House believes that the acts of Jose Rizal before the said execution have caused renouncement in Masonry and retraction against Catholic Church. Starting off, the Prime Minister of the government is Sarah Jane. You will defend the motion.
Good morning, Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, we, the government side, believe that Jose Rizal adjourned Masonry and retracted his statements against the Catholic Church. The documents presented to the public is a strong evidence that Rizal had thoroughly withdrawn in Masonry and retracted. Let us first address the documents. First, the letter of Rizal his mother received on January 5, 1893. The letter says that Rizal have been going onto the church every Sunday in the Pitan. Doesn't this show that Rizal had thoroughly returned to the church? Next, the testimony of the eyewitness, Father Balaguer, who was with Rizal and presented the retraction format prepared by Father Payupay, the superior of Jesus Society in the Philippines. Before the execution, he stated that on December 29, 1896, day before the execution, Rizal have accepted and signed the documents on May 13, 1935. Father Manuel E. Garcia found a documents of Rizal's retraction. Is an account of the eyewitness not enough proof of retraction?
Thank you, Ms. Sarah Jane. Now for the Leader of Opposition, Jason Destinado, you may now rebut the previous statement and provide a constructive for your side.
Good day, Madam Chairman. We, the opposition side, believe that the said document were forged according to an online source, joserizal.ph, contained by Jose Rizal University. In the fact of document, forgery was revealed by the Father Balaguer himself. Father Balaguer said that he couldn't remember whose exact copy was the statements. The copy of retraction paper that was said to be signed by Rizal was even kept secret and was only published in newspaper who claimed to the scene and read it. By Archbishop Mozalida, that examined the documents that are included in the books, Rizal Beyond the Grave. The document presented was a forgery. Moreover, Rizal didn't expressly say that he retracted Masonry. He only said that he hated Masonry. So now, is this a strong evidence and of withdrawal and retraction? And if you say that Rizal really retracted, how come he was still executed? Wasn't the retraction enough for salvation of Rizal?
Thank the Leader of Opposition. Now let us call the Deputy Prime Minister, Ms. Liami Abo.
In your argument of forgery of your documents, it is also reasoned out in that same site that what the Archbishop and Father Pai saw was not the original document of retraction, and the original document, which was almost eaten by termites, was kept by prayers for preservation. Additionally, the retraction is a significant document because it established the act of marriage between Jose Rizal and Josephine Bracken in the Pitan. The condition to them to be wedded was the retraction. No retraction, no marriage. In other words, Rizal could never marry Josephine unless he retracted first. And the sworn statement of the eyewitness, like Father Balaguer, agreed that there was a retraction and marriage between the two. Moreover, after his marriage, Rizal dedicated a Catholic devotional book to his two sisters. Josepha, and Trinidad, as well as his wife, Josephine, which in his dedication mentioned, "To my dear and unhappy wife, Josephine, aren't their books proof of Catholicism?" In addition, he said, "I abominate Masonry as an enemy of the Church and a society prohibited by the Church." He used the word abominate, which means to detest in the highest degree, abhor. In this case, he used stronger language than "I retract Masonry." Likewise, Rizal was suspected of rebellion, sedition, and illegal association against Spanish government. The retraction document is related to what he was accused of, and as a consequence, it does not save him from execution.
I thank the government wait. For the opposition, Beverly, Jean Manson, you may also conclude your side's argument and preside your final words.
About the related Catholic books that Rizal gave to Josephine and his sister. This doesn't much weight as an evidence as Josephine was still in the Catholic faith. It was only fitting that Rizal gave her Catholic-related materials. But this doesn't mean that Rizal had finally retracted his words against the church. Moreover, about the forgery of the documents, there are 3 copies of the documents about the retraction. The first one indicates a year of 1890. The second one changes it into 189C. And the final one, the written year is 1896. Isn't this enough proof that there was a forgery of the retraction? Even Miss Father Balaguer, who was an eyewitness, has come inconsistencies his statements. We therefore conclude that the absence of the marriage document of Rizal and Josephine and his burial outside the Catholic Church cemetery of Paco shows that Rizal did not retracted back to the church. The lack of evidence or evidences prove that Rizal retraction was just a false accusation.
Thank you, Beverly. Let us now hear what the adjudicator thinks about the performance of our 2 teams. Judge Michelle Ambalong, please give some comment on both teams' performance and the result of today's debate.
Since both sides has already presented their argument, let me please give my remarks. For each side for the government side, they have give the proposition and defended the motion, while the opposition side refuted and negated this motion as for this reason. The government said have presented their propositions and testimony from eyewitnesses that are directly involved in the said event stood by the reason of Rizal restrictions, which is to marry Josephine. So one thing I wanted to question in the presence of retraction. Later, while the opposition said have mentions about forgery of documents and presented more critics, theories, and allegations about the motions, and all the presented and allegations it has based as it come from school in favor of Rizal. Government side, yet despite the controversy, it does not make Rizal less of a hero. It's government side, yet despite the controversy, it does not make Rizal less of a hero. It does not devalue him, for he made significant things that offend the eye of many Filipinos. Through him, the
Nationalism and patriotism of Filipino was lit and now been forever burning. With that, I now declare this house adjourned.
Through him, the nationalism and patriotism of Filipino was lit and now been forever burning. With that, I now declare this House adjourned.